Hi, I'm Don, and this is The Hobbyist Geek. Welcome back, y'all. Today we are finishing off, or at least we're going to start the final model in the Metal Earth Star Wars Mandalorian line with Mando himself. That's right. Now, in the original Metal Earth Star Wars line, Boba Fett turned out to be my favorite once built. So I am hoping this guy matches that quality. I can't wait. I'm also hoping that we can finish it in one issue. Until we get it open, there's no way to know for sure. So why don't we take a look at the packaging and see what comes inside. All right, so here is the packaging for the Metal Earth Star Wars Mandalorian, the Mandalorian piece. And he's looking pretty cool here. I'm not as impressed with the product image as I had hoped I'd be, but again, with Boba Fett, the product image was horrible. I thought it looked ridiculous, and it ended up being one of my favorites. So, these little bits here and here kind of concern me a little bit. They kind of throw the profile off a little bit, but I don't know, maybe it'll look better once in hand. And it's kind of hard to see, but this looks more square than I would have anticipated. But that's got to be rounded, right? It's got to be rounded. I guess we'll find out. But that does look pretty cool. There are some parts that are a little concerning. We've got the ammo clips here. We've got little cylinders here and here that look like they're going to be finicky. But it looks pretty good. Let's take a look at the back. All right, so this is, oh my, an 8 out of 10 and 145 pieces. I don't know if we're gonna finish this in one sitting. IG-11 was an 8 out of 10 as well and ended up taking a lot longer to build than I had anticipated. So this may end up being a two video piece, but we'll see. And then we've got different angles. Oh my. Gotta tell you, the cannon on the back here, that is also a little worrisome. I bet it'll be awesome when it's done, but I'm also willing to bet there's a ton of finicky, tiny little pieces in there as well. Looks like we've got 3 full sheets to build this guy, and we've got the rest. Oh, hey. All of which are on the channel, so if you want, go back, take a look at the builds on those. All right, let's get this thing open, see what's inside. All right, and here's what we get inside the package. We have us 3 sheets of metal, and, well, the paint on these looks incredible. It's got that wonderful glitter effect. Love the Mandalorian logo here, and the Scum and Villainy icon. That looks great. Lots of little things. I'm betting these are the cylinders, or at least part of them. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Here we've got some much larger pieces. Obviously his cloak. And several others. These look like bits of his helmet. So that looks pretty awesome. Maybe part of the gun, I guess? I don't know. Guess we'll find out, won't we? And over here we got some more pieces. Not too many little ones. Little one like that. All right. And we've got 3 sheets of instructions. The instructions look pretty standard by Metal Earth standards. Let's see here, yep. Got our piece list, product image, base instructions. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. The images are definitely smaller than a typical set of Metal Earth instructions, but it is a big piece with a lot of small pieces. So, all right, well, I think that about covers what we've got here. So why don't we see how much of this we can get done today? Get some pieces out, get started on this build. And here he is, Star Wars, the Mandalorian, Mando himself, fully completed and looking pretty good. For the most part, I would say this is not an 8 difficulty model. This is more like a 6, except for one very specific part, which I'll get into. He does have a few issues. He does. But for the most part, he went together very, very smoothly, fairly easy. And the end result is not bad at all. I still say Boba is better, and we'll get into that in a little bit as well. But not bad. Not too shabby. Let me go ahead and pull him in, and we will take a look. All right. So, starting off at the base, of course, we've got this beautiful Mandalorian logo. We've got his feet. Now, there's some gapping right here that probably could have been filled, but by design, that gap is supposed to be there, which I don't know that I'm particularly happy with. We've got all of these details on the shin, like these cylinders here, which actually were not that difficult to put in. Went in nice and smooth, and I think it really looks great. On the left leg, he's got these little things here. I don't know, those supposed to be ammo clips or something? I don't know. And a little pocket pouch there, so that's pretty cool. Coming up, I mean, the crotch is somewhat bland. I mean, you do have the thigh armor here, which kind of blends in very smoothly. Little hip skirts, again, they kind of blend in fairly smooth. The belt itself has a ton of detail. I mean, from little ammo clips like on the back, I don't know if you can see it because it's kind of covered there, to these cylinders. I think those are thermal detonators, is what I think those are. And then, you know, pouch, some more of these, whatever the heck these things are. But you know, not too bad. On the chest, the armor here is okay. I mean, it's good for the show, so that's not too bad. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to stand out enough for me, to be honest. The strap here, the ammo belt with the little clips. The clips are not 3D, actually. They're kind of flat, so that was a little disappointing, sadly. I do like the shoulder guards, and these gauntlets are awesome. I mean, look at the detail on that. That is just incredible detail on that gauntlet. Now, if you look in here, the inside of his hand is not painted, and that is like completely open. So it looks a little weird, to be perfectly honest. And the pistol itself is kind of held at a weird angle. I mean, but it works. It's not too far off. It just a little weird angle. This gauntlet is a little different on the detail, but still lots of detail, which is actually really incredible. I love that they've got all that differentiation between the two gauntlets. The helmet came out pretty well. I think the Boba helmet was much better, and they're effectively the same thing. But this one didn't come out quite as well, but it does, you know, it looks nice. It does. It looks nice. On the back, you've got a little laser etch detail, not much going on there, but, and it's all one color, which is true to the show. Again, the back of the cape is not painted, so you get that weird silver glint when looking at him from the front, which is a little weird, to be honest. It really is. The pistol itself is really boxy, but that's fine. I mean, it actually made it fairly easy to assemble, being boxy like that, and it still looks good. It does still look good. The rifle wasn't that bad put together, except for the trigger guard. The trigger guard is where things kind of went wrong. See, the trigger guard has a little tab that comes out so it'll attach to the strap. The instructions are not very clear on where that tab is supposed to go. And I actually ended up doing it the wrong way, which is a problem. Worse, when I was trying to get that tab in the correct direction and get it into this, the whole trigger assembly just came off. It was just too much manipulation. I mean, it wasn't that it wasn't tight before, it's just there was too much manipulation going on, and it didn't come out quite right, and the whole trigger thing came off. So I ended up having to put a little super glue in here to put it back, because at this point everything was assembled, and I couldn't get back in there. So that kind of sucks. That it really does. This is the only part I would say would be an 8 difficulty. Everything else, from the cloak and the body, even the weapons, the helmet, I'd say it was more of a 6 difficulty, maybe a 7 in some places. But for the most part, he went together pretty good. To compare him with his counterpart, there's Boba. And I still say Boba is the better figure. Not as dynamic a pose, I suppose. The helmet is, in my opinion, much better. I mean, bring them in here. You can take a look at the two helmets. I know they look very, very similar, but I think especially the domed cap went on a little better than the Mando one. And of course there's more color on Boba, but that's a given. But in the end though, we're talking about my opinion here. And in my opinion, I think Boba is better. I like the chest plate here and the multiple pieces on the chest plate with the 3D elements to it, as opposed to more of a flat look here on Mando. I will say I like Mando's belt a bit more than I like Boba's. Boba's has these really big pouches, but it's still kind of bland and uniform all across. Whereas this has a little more differentiation. So I do like the belt better on Mando. Mando also seems to have kind of a slimmer figure compared to Boba, which if you saw the Boba Fett show, okay, yeah, he should be slimmer, but this is supposed to be based on the 80s. So, I do like the shoulder guards better on Mando as well. The gauntlets, actually, I'm not sure which one I prefer more. Because Boba's does have a lot of detail on his as well. And this little rocket and everything. But it's got that color differentiation versus the straight up silver that we've got on Mando. Anyway, that's about it for the comparison between the two. And this is really going to be a personal preference kind of thing. And here is IG-11. You can see he does tower over Boba over Mando, as he did in the show. And we've got the Razor Crest, and of course, Baby Yoda, little Baby Yoda, which looks great actually. And this is the entire Star Wars Metal Earth Star Wars Mandalorian line, which is pretty good actually. This looks pretty freaking good. I'm very happy to have these in my collection. Anyway, that's about all I've got for today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.